It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the 4 films of September 8th, 2006. And on this show, we have, I guess you could call it a precursor to Twilight, except much gayer than you would expect. But we also have a criminally underrated thriller starring Ben Affleck, Adrian Brody, and Diane Lane. And then we also have, I believe, I can't remember what the other one is. Tony Jay starring in a movie called The Protector, and Maggie Gyllenhaal in a little indie film. So before we get to those movies, let's go ahead and talk about the biggest new release of the weekend, which shouldn't really tell you a whole lot about how well this weekend went, because this thing barely made $10 million. Not even that, barely made $9 million. Couldn't even get to $9 million, I should say, and was largely forgotten almost immediately. And that film is, of course, The Covenant.
Imagine having the ability to do anything you want, but the more you use the power, the more it weakens you. Now, a member of the Fifth family has returned.
Have you met Chase?
Hey.
We'll just transfer them.
To seek revenge. You can't beat me, so you got
Oh.
and destroy their covenant. Something's wrong.
Tonight on the WB, Metrosexual Wizards. That's pretty
clever.
They're gonna make you their wiatch.
So, of course, that's not a clip from the actual movie itself. Well, it is, but that's from the Real Deal review from before Corey and the gang went to DoSpill.com and then later DoubleToasted.com, because that's pretty much the only thing you really need from this movie to get some humor out of it. Just watching them lambast the hell out of that movie, because rightfully so, because, yeah. This is a bad movie. 4 best friends, young warlocks of the same coven who all share the same secret, magic power, suddenly have to protect themselves from a stranger, another warlock just like them, who has come to their town to destroy their coven after a 300-year hate. And, yeah, as they say in that commercial, in that clip there, this is something that would have been seen on the WB easily, or on the CW, I guess, at that time, because my God, this is a terrible movie. This is a really horrible film, and honestly, you really don't need to hear me say it, because, yeah, everyone has said about this. This is directed by Renny Harlin, by the way. You know, the guy that made badass movies like Die Hard 2, The Last Boy Scout, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and this is what he's been reduced to now, these terrible movies, and he's been on a streak of these bad movies. Driven, Mindhunters, Exorcist: The Beginning. And it gets worse and worse as we go along, because, yeah, this guy has not made a good movie since the 1990s, and that streak has continued ever since, because he hasn't made a good movie since then. And this is definitely not one of those good movies whatsoever. You have a cast that includes teen actors who we would easily see on a CW or WB show, but let's add in this element of these, of like, because, like, there's a lot of homoeroticism in this movie, man. This is just a ridiculously stupid movie that even shows like even shows that the CW and the WB had around that time look butch by comparison to this garbage. And this is garbage. This is a lousy movie where it's nothing but watching these teenage guys, by the way, just walking around half-dressed, wearing these Speedos, or as they said in the Real Deal review, nut huggers, and there's literally shower scenes that are literally nothing but watching these guys in showers. There's no women that get naked in this. They try to tease you a little bit with a nipple, but that's about it. If a nipple is the thing you're looking for an arousal thing from this movie, then clearly you're looking at the wrong movie in general here. This movie is like, even its target audience that this was trying to go for looked at this movie and go like, oh fuck no, we're not going back to this movie. And the people who didn't see it goes like, oh fuck no, I'm not watching this. Yeah, this is a bad movie. I don't think I need to say too much more about how terrible this movie is, because yeah, it's a bad movie. I can't believe it was even the #1 movie at the box office, but it was, unfortunately. But which is saying, because the next movie is a far better movie that should have gotten much better treatment than this movie did. So let's talk about that movie, and that is Hollywoodland.
HD DVD Tuesday. Hollywoodland is a perfect crime thriller. Why? Sexy, exciting, and mysterious. Adrian Brody, Diane Lane, and Ben Affleck are Oscar-worthy. Hollywoodland on DVD and HD DVD Tuesday.
A movie that was so embarrassed to not even include anything Superman related, because Superman Returns was a big box office flop in the summer of 2006. But then again, that could have been mostly because of the copyright fight that was going on between Warner Brothers and Focus Features that kind of led to this, and they had to retitle the movie and everything. But this is a story about the fictionalized account of the circumstances surrounding the death of actor George Reeves, played by Ben Affleck in this, who of course was Superman in the TV series The Adventures of Superman back in the 1950s. Adrian Brody stars as a fictional character, a private detective investigating Tony Mannix, played by Diane Lane, who was involved in a long romantic relationship with Reeves and was the wife of the MGM studio executive, played by Bob Hoskins in this. Reeves had ended the affair and had become engaged to a younger woman, aspiring actress Lenore Landon, played by Robin Tooney. And it's a really good movie. It's a film that definitely did not get the proper respect it deserved. It kind of came and went at the box office. It was a really good movie, but most notably, it was the first real movie that welcomed Ben Affleck back after so many flops he had been involved in. Paycheck, Geely, Surviving Christmas. This was the return for Ben Affleck, the start of the return, because following that, he would direct his first movie with Gone Baby Gone, which was a huge, well-made film that was very successful critically. Once again, financially, not so much, but that one went on to get some Oscar nominations overall, and it would eventually lead to Ben Affleck's true return to form with Argo a couple years later, which would later win Best Picture, even though he wouldn't be nominated for Best Director. But this is a really good movie. It's a really incredible movie that shows why Ben Affleck was such a good actor to begin with, and why it's incredible to see him come back after all of these bad movies he made for most of the decade. And this was his return. This was his return to form in general. And you got a cast that also includes terrific actors: Adrian Brody, Diane Lane, Robin Tooney, Bob Hoskins, and a story that is very, very compelling and very, very engaging overall. And you do get invested in the story overall, and you want to see how this film is going to handle the story of George Reeves, because the story of George Reeves is very captivating and very intriguing in so many ways. From the fact that he was afraid he was going to be typecast as Superman for the rest of his life, and that's why he basically killed himself. And this movie does a very good job of handling that. And this is directed by Alan Coulter, who's been a very prolific television director, and yet he's only made 2 feature films. This is easily his best movie, because the next film he would make is Remember Me with Robert Pattinson, and that's not a good movie overall. But this is a really damn good movie. One I highly recommend checking out. It's definitely a very underrated Ben Affleck movie. It's one you have to check out. Definitely seek this one out. You are really doing yourself a huge disservice by not seeing it. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and that is Tony Jay starring as The Protector.
Destroyed everything he loved. Now, his strength will defy a government. His courage will inspire hope. His fight will make him a legend. On September 8th, Tony Jaa is The Protector. Rated R.
So in the film, in Bangkok, you have the young Kam, who's raised by his father in the jungle with elephants as members of their family. When his old elephant and the baby Kern are stolen by criminals, Kam finds that the animals were sent to Sydney. He travels then to Australia, where he locates the baby elephant in a restaurant owned by the evil Madame Rose, the leader of an international Thai mafia. And with the support of the efficient Thai Sergeant Mark, who was involved in the conspiracy, Kam fights to rescue the animals from the mobsters. Now, the name The Protector is the name that it was given for the English dubbing of this movie. This movie was originally called Tom Young Goong in the country of Thai, I think it is, because it's a Thai martial arts movie, and of course, The Protector was also the name of a 1985 Jackie Chan movie directed by James Glickenhaus. But this was when the Weinstein Company was picking up these movies and putting them out through the Dragon Dynasty Company. And kind of like what they did with the Jackie Chan movies when they had them over at Dimension and Miramax, they trimmed the film down so it would get an R rating, so it could be seen in theaters. They actually added a score by RZA, and a lot of the stuff that was in the original version has been largely cut out of the film, which included several key plot elements that were taken out of the film in general. But as far as the film itself goes, it's one that I rarely remember seeing. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this one, now that I think about it, but no, I haven't seen this one. I'm telling you stuff that's not true at all, but I have not seen this movie, so I don't really know if it's any good or not. I've never heard anybody really say this is one you should check out, but yeah, it's one I've never seen before. Now that I think about it, I have not seen this particular version of this film. I never saw the original version either, so I really don't know if the original version is any good either, but it's available out there to get both versions of this on DVD, so it's out there somewhere. Someday I might pick it up and check it out, but yeah, I don't remember ever seeing this one, so I can't really say if it's any good or not. But these English dubbings that the Weinstein Company did back in the day usually have not been that great overall. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one was not a great transfer. So yeah, that's not much more I could say about that one. So let's go ahead and get back to some movies that I have seen with our last movie that we have here, and that is Maggie Gyllenhaal in the indie film Sherrybaby.
Do you understand the conditions of your parole, Miss Swanson? Any unreported police contact will result in the immediate violation of your parole, and I will violate you.
To see my daughter. I haven't seen her in a long time.
It'll be like you never left. Hey, girls.
Mommy? Where were you?
I would like to work with kids. I have a child, and I would like to become a better mother.
And evidently that was enough to get her the job. I mean, the next scene is literally her getting the job as the teacher. Maggie Gyllenhaal plays Sherry Swanson, who returns home to New Jersey after serving a 3-year prison sentence. Eager to reestablish a relationship with her young daughter, Sherry soon discovers that coming back to the world she left behind is far more difficult than she had planned. And this was kind of where Maggie Gyllenhaal was slowly but surely becoming one of those actresses that everyone was watching out for. Like, everyone was thinking that she was going to be the next big thing, and she really does show a lot of what makes her so great in this movie. I mean, she steals the show in here. She's fantastic. She gives the best performance in the movie easily. She's got a great cast around her. Brad William Henke from Choke, Giancarlo Esposito, Danny Trejo among the cast in here. It's a really good movie. It's a really good, underrated little gem of a film that not a lot of people really talk about all that much. I found this on a blind buy when it was at my Giant Eagle that I worked at when we had the video section. I watched it. I rented it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a very good film overall. A very well-done film. Great performance by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I thought she was really strong in the movie. I thought she really carried a lot of weight that showed what her future is as an actress in general, and a leading actress. And it's a really good movie that sadly didn't get the attention I think it deserved. I feel like she should have gotten an Oscar nomination for a performance in this. Like, she's really good in the movie. And I really liked her a lot in this film. I thought she really was the strongest part of the film. The story is very well done. It's a captivating storyline. It's a great story involving this character. It's a really good movie. One that doesn't get the proper attention it deserves. It's a really great film. I highly recommend checking it out, though. Definitely check it out. Sherrybaby. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. And the next time we meet, we'll take a look at 4 more movies, including The Rock, starring in a football drama, Gridiron Gang. We have Brian De Palma's latest film, The Black Dahlia, which features Scarlett Johansson and Josh Hartnett among its cast. The animated feature, Everyone's Hero, and Zach Braff starring in The Last Kiss, his big movie follow-up to Garden State. And needless to say, it was not the big success that Garden State was. But we'll talk about those 4 movies on the next episode. That'll be coming up tomorrow. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the place on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification button because we post new videos here every day, and you get updates on when new videos come out all the time. So with all that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.